Hi, Tad Johnson from Ireland here, and I'm joined with Dean Carey, who is one of our SEs in Toronto. Thanks for joining me, Dean.
Hey, Tad, thank you very much for having me.
Hey, so you were just telling me about a really interesting customer you're working with, where I think you mentioned they're in the financial industry, and they're solving some interesting end user challenges with the enterprise browser. Tell me more.
Yeah, so I mean, it was an interesting exercise with the customer. I think one of the main things that they've always had challenges with, Tad, was anytime they looked at a new security technology, it was always a question of what does this mean to the end user or the business community as a whole. And what they found was there was a lot of pain points, and areas that then introduced some challenges for security to look to implement a new technology into their environment. So it was a very interesting experience to go through with the customer, and one that was very positive.
We've heard that a lot where a lot of folks, when they think of a security solution, they think of what kind of friction does this put on the user or what kind of hindrance might this put on a user. And I think that's one of the big motivations at Island is how can we flip that story around and how can we actually deliver productivity to users or convenience to users?
You nailed it there. I think one of the first things that we looked at was how can we give the users an experience that when they're operating or interacting with Island, it's something that's comforting. It's something that aligns to their task and their daily routine in a positive way. And so that's really what we focused in on for set aside what our security goals were. It was really very much how can we ensure that when users log in and they're within the Island Enterprise browser, that they've immediately are presented with a positive experience.
Can you walk me through any of the workflows that you helped this customer build out?
The first thing that we did was we looked at essentially creating a theme for their homepage. So the theme really aligned to the respective lines of businesses. So the application tile entitlements that they each had. For many of them, they were internal websites, and a lot of them were the external SaaS-based applications. And it really created an immediate comfort with the landing page. And what it evolved into was we had a target audience of the call center. And in the use case with the call center, it was there's some tools or productivity suites that they really wish would be accessible to them in in a native way within the actual browser. And by leveraging any existing consumer-based browser, they did not have that capability. So the first thing we did was we looked at our ability to control extensions and entitle that target audience to certain extensions that are help them with their productivity. And when we first introduced that to the first group of users that had this requirement or this need to use these tools, they were blown away with just how positive the experience was. And the security admin that I was working with, first thing he said is they absolutely love it. They haven't stopped using the browser ever since.
That's so great to hear. It's rare that you can deliver both on the security side and you can deliver something that actually makes that individual call center employee's day-to-day life just a little bit better. And it's really exciting that we're able to do that with the enterprise browser.
And then it's just carried on into other lines of business and other specific needs. And I think what it's really felt like is an enabler to security to say, you know what, we're here to listen to you. And in conjunction, we're also solving for what our needs or our concerns are. And so it's really the first time in my 20 years that I've worked with a technology that isn't creating friction. It's actually solving a lot of these pain points.
That's just a great sentiment, Dean. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll have you back on here again soon.
Excellent. Well, look forward to it. Thanks very much, Tad.
Bye-bye.